So on to another topic. We are seeing the first federal court ruling on coronavirus vaccine mandates. A federal judge recently tossed out a lawsuit brought by the staff at Houston Methodist over its requirement that workers be vaccinated against the virus. In his ruling, the judge said that the hospital's requirement does not violate federal law or public policy. Houston Methodist suspended more than 100 employees without pay for failing to comply for 14 days. Their attorneys say despite the ruling, they will continue to fight back and plan to file another lawsuit. So Richard Roth is with us now to discuss. He's an employment attorney. And Richard will point out that, this lawsuit is just one. I think there are other lawsuits across the country challenging the same thing, an employer mandating that people become vaccinated. On what grounds did the court uphold the hospital's policy?
So the bottom line is that every employee is an employee at will, and employers can do really whatever they want, barring a violation of what's called statutorily protected rights, which would be doing something to that person because of age, ethnicity, religion, nationality, disability. So the court basically said that if an employer wants to have you actually take a vaccine, they have a right to do it. So there really was no ground upon which to start that lawsuit. So the court threw it out, saying that it was fictitious. And not only that, but the lawsuit claimed that the vaccine was this poison. It was really went over the top. But at the end of the day, the employer has a right to do what it wants, when it wants, with regard to employees, except for, as I said, the statutorily protected rights. And that's essentially what the court did.
So to just put it in simpler terms, Mr. Roth, if, for example, an employer says you cannot wear shorts to work, that's against company policy. Are we talking about more or less the same thing? I mean, they can tell you what you can wear, what you can't wear, unless it's something that violates your religious affiliation. You can, if you want a job here, you can't wear shorts, you can't wear sweatpants, you can't wear flip-flops, and if you do, then we can fire you. Is that how it goes?
Same thing. Exact same thing. So that's right. But if you say, I want women to wear short skirts, now you're talking about treating women differently, but you can't wear shorts. You must wear a suit. You must wear a black outfit. You must wear whatever it is. You must appear at a certain time. You must leave at a certain time. There are the employers are given a lot of latitude, and there's a reason for it. The reason is, could you imagine how filled up the courts would be if every time there's some kind of a alleged violation that an employee would sue? So it really frees the courts up, and it makes sense. It makes sense. So yes, it's exactly the same thing. You can't wear shorts to the office. You can't wear flip-flops. That's essentially what the court is saying.
Can I just ask you, Mr. Roth, one of the things that when I was traveling abroad recently, I was talking to somebody who was a general manager of an institution, and he said, well, one of the considerations in Europe is, let's say somebody is told that they must be vaccinated and they get sick from the vaccine. Does that leave the employer open to a lawsuit because the only reason that the person took the vaccine was because their employer told them to take it?
Yeah, it doesn't. In this country, it does not leave the employer potentially liable for any lawsuit. The only tweak to the answer is no. The only tweak to the requirement that you're vaccinated is that an employer must allow you to get a vaccine. They can't say you have to be here during all hours and not allow you to get there. Or if you can't, you have to travel to get there. They may have to help you, especially for the disabled. But at the end of the day, no. If they tell you have to take a vaccine and you get sick, it's unfortunate, but the employer cannot be held liable.